Hello everyone, welcome to FNPL program. This bilingual YouTube program can also be found at podcast.com or podbean.com by searching our program title, Positive Living in America. Scheduled topics are listed on each Sunday with the sharing time, Toss Salad, contributed by guests. Both podcast and YouTube are sponsored by FNPL Foundation. Producer is Jasmine Lee and regular speaker is Dr. Esther Lee. The mission of this program is to discuss issues related to life based on love, peace, joy, and hope with truthful information to ensure objectivity. Today, Dr. Lee's topic is My Plea to My Adopted Homeland. Dr. Lee is a former member of Texas Board of Pardon and Paroles and professor of the multicultural education, being an American citizen for nearly half a century. In this episode, Dr. Lee is going to offer her advice to Chinese Americans for assimilating into this mainstream society.
My advice to Chinese Americans. Good morning, I'm Dr. Lee. Next Sunday, my podcast in Chinese will offer the advice specifically to Chinese Americans during this challenging time. Although it's not important or even a concern of most non-Chinese listeners, I personally believe I need to explain and summarize the contents of my advice to avoid any possible misunderstanding in the future. One of my lifelong goals is to keep peace whenever and wherever I can. I don't want to create conflicts. Here, I'm sharing the background of my advice to them. I remember that my congressional opponent was bashing me through many ads about the Japanese automakers. She was barking up the wrong tree because she could not even tell that I was not Japanese. It's obvious because my last name is not a Japanese name. However, it was hard to effectively inform the voters that I was not Japanese. Based on the absentee voters who normally voted the days before the election date, I was well ahead of her. Toward the end of the campaign, my opponent aired TV commercials with a distorted, darkened image of my Chinese face. Evidently, the ads were effective and changed the results. From the very beginning, my political consultant advised me to avoid showing my Chinese face. As a result, he only purchased the radio ads and no TV ads. Although I was very disturbed by my opponent's TV ads, I ran out of funds for any possible TV ads of my own. It's a sad and painful chapter in my political endeavors. Yet, I have no regret of my decision to run, as suggested by the political director of Bush's White House. It's comforting to see certain progress made by some Chinese Americans in the political arena since my defeat. No doubt, my political involvement in the political parties, Republican Party, has encouraged some American-born Chinese to pursue their political dreams in their homeland, regardless of their faces. My heart is aching while witnessing the recent conflicts between the U.S. and China. Although I warned the Chinese Americans more than 30 years ago to get involved and prepared for a possible time like this, I never expected such conflict could actually happen. I used to explain my identity to others by using this analogy. China is like my biological parents, without denial. Yet, America is my adopted parents. Both provide the best they could during my growth and development. For that, I'm thankful and love them both. I want both my natural and adopted parents to get along well. Meanwhile, I have been a law-abiding and a productive citizen in my adopted homeland, America. I contributed all my education to young Americans as a university professor for more than 25 years. I also faithfully serve all levels of our government, municipal, state, and federal, with the best integrity and performance. It's simple for me to do so because I am a Christian, held accountable to the highest spiritual power. Being a former professor of multicultural education, I'm more knowledgeable than average immigrants about the struggles of diverse racial and ethnic groups in the U.S. Here are just 3 examples of ethnic groups' horrible sufferings during World War II. All West Coast Japanese Americans were rounded up and sent to Colorado detention camps. In 1939, a group of 937 European Jewish Holocaust refugees were rejected by President Roosevelt to land in Miami. They had to return to Europe, and 1/3 of them were murdered. German Americans who did not want to be identified as Nazi sympathizer had to wear a sign saying they were Americans. I literally study immigrants' experiences with sadness and tears. Finally, immigrants' tragedies and struggles in our great America prompted my entry into the U.S. political arena. At the same time, I encouraged Asian Americans' political involvement because I did not want to see the history replay. No one knows the future except God. Yet, the current U.S.-China relations are not on good terms in several other areas besides trade wars. Many Chinese Americans, both foreign-born and American-born, are concerned about the security of jobs and even lives. This is much worse than discrimination. They are caught in a very awkward and perplexing situation. Therefore, I offer them the following advice to expedite their assimilation process and interact with the mainstream people. It is natural that all ethnic or racial groups have different levels of assimilation. They all have subculture groups, including rich Caucasian males and highly educated African Americans. In next Sunday's Chinese podcast, I will specifically encourage Chinese Americans to change or improve in 5 areas mentally, emotionally, and cognitively. They are identity, image or perception, communication, participation, and citizenship. My ultimate wish is that we still can keep America great with the immigrants and their descendants among us. Their contribution to our nation are proved and recorded in our history. In fact, many publications indicate the most successful people are the children of first-generation immigrants, especially women. After all, no one's ancestors were originally from America. Even the native Indians, so frequently called American Indians, are descendants of immigrants from Asia. Undoubtedly, the first-generation immigrants need to take time to assimilate into the mainstream society. Would you please be able to play a certain role to help them in these 5 mentioned areas? Your helping hands will expedite their assimilation process. May God continue blessing America and keep America as the greatest immigrant nation in the world. I'm truly proud of being an American with more than 2/3 of my lifetime in this lovely and blessed home.
The program is brought to you by FNPL Foundation. The episode of the broadcast will be posted on FNPL Foundation official website, www.fnplweb.org. Please share your thoughts and suggestions with us. Thank you for listening.